Okay, so it's 3:23 on the 31st, and oh my gosh, so I'm still, it's just stressing me out when she whines. God dang. And I don't know. It's like part of our culture or something. Put them out of their misery. Put them out of their misery. But the thing is that we've gone through this so many times where she'll be doing really, really bad and she'll be whining and whining. Well, she's been whining, I swear to God, since Winston got sick. So she started whining way back then. Just, I don't know. It's like she communicates through her whining. But I know she's uncomfortable. And every time I take her to the vet, then they tell me the same thing. And then I know it's part of our culture. Well, put them out of their misery. But I just have other feelings about it. Because I feel like this, this give and take life thing in these soul entanglements, like I feel like it's not up to me to kill her. But there's an experience to be had. Going through pain is an experience that well, what I was shown before was it's very grounding. It pulls you into the experience. And but there's a lot of lessons. There's a lot of learning, and that's the thing is we want to think like, oh, dogs, they're not having lessons. They're not learning anything. I just saw a video where this guy, this is in Turkey, which I know in parts of Turkey, I don't know if it's the whole country, but that strays are, they're not picked up and murdered in humane shelters. Which I don't know where we get off saying humane. And then they don't, because just wait and see. It's going to be all misspending of grant money. There was money, they've had money. They could put that money into taking care of the animals, but they put it in their own pocketbooks. And it's just misspending of grant money. Because, I mean, for one thing, they don't even need these big indoor facilities. You could have more with land and more, because you don't have to just put dog houses. You could put, like, my mom has this one kind of small shed, like these old metal sheds. It can be used as like dog houses. So you could put those out there and then put lots of fencing and put like dog runs with metal crates so that they didn't have to be indoors, because they're sticking them outside anyways in the weather in crates in some of these places. Like in LA, there's a bunch of these counties that are just, it's out of control. And then it's not just, I mean, the solutions that they come up with are, my hair, I'm telling you, the shedding, it's just like, and you get these long hairs going through, through hanging off of your shirt, and it keeps hitting into your leg and stuff. Oh, God, it's driving me crazy. Like, my skin feels so sensitive, and every little thing is like, oh my God. But but to me, there's solutions. We could come up with better solutions, but they don't do that. But we have such a huge amount of people just dumping their animals off and not giving a shit. Just like, well, somebody else can take them. And the shelters are too run over, and they don't have whatever. They don't really have the compassion. They don't have the resources, apparently. They don't have time, food, space, whatever. But see, there's no going into a better solution. It's just like, done work. So they're just mad slaughter. And so anyways, here, our thing is just blowing the fuck up. Because I think it's just going to show, like, the disconnect that people have. There's a lot that animals teach us. And the dogs and how they're treated is going to be a lot of big lessons that are when the lights come on and everybody sees the truth. And, but anyways, but in Turkey, they, man, these dogs stink. Really, all of them. And I swear to God, sometimes I feel like it smells like a goddamn barn in here, a livestock barn. Max has got to get super close. I don't know. I know he's just been getting super, like, he's got to be right next to me all the time. Stella's got to be right next to me all the time. And he's got something he's uncomfortable about. I can't figure out. And I know what hers is. But anyways, with her whining, and I mean, I can't even tell you how many times, like, she's whining and whining and whining at me. I'm like, what do you want? What is it? What do you want? Show me what you want. She goes straight into the food. That's what I want. I'm hungry. It's like, oh my God. She need a whole crock pot. I mean, a whole Instapot. That whole silver thing. She could eat that whole fucking thing in one day. Full of stew. It's like, for fuck's sake, girl. God damn. And when I make cookies, she wants to eat them all. She wants all the cookies. She wants all the fucking soup. And if the dogs don't jump up and go eat their food, she jumps around and goes and eats all their food. I'm always like, go eat your food. And they'll just sit there, and it doesn't smell good to me. I was like, okay, well, she's going to eat it all. And she does it. This all fucking day, all fucking night, because we've already been doing it. And even though last night, though, because I was like, oh my God, I'm not gonna get any fucking sleep. And then, but she did go to sleep, finally. And then, but I was so uncomfortable all night. And while I'm sitting here thinking all night, I was like, this energy is so intense. And that has got to be also a part of her problem. This just and probably Max, probably the animal. I mean, I think all the animals feel it. But I gotta finish this turkey thing before I keep going off on this other thing. So in Turkey, because people want to think animals aren't intelligent and stuff. So in Turkey, strays are just cared for. You know, just like I would say squirrels or pigeons or something. But you got people just fucking kill them. But so. They aren't looked at as homeless. They're just like, that's where they live. They live in the streets, and everybody feeds them, and they go in stores and sleep, and everybody just cares for them. Nobody's kicking them, like they're taken care of. If there's one that has a problem, it goes to the vet, and they pick them all up, and they're all tagged. So they pick them up, they do the fix them, you know, gender neutralization, and then they spay, neuter, whatever. Then they put them back in the streets, and then people just feed them. Like shop owners set out food for them and stuff. So, and when you go in a store, they'll just like laying around. People go up and pet them and stuff. I think it's cute, but I think we should be able to live like that. Like we shouldn't be so. I don't know. I feel like we just don't treat dogs the way they should be treated. And then but you learn it, and I've been lucky. I've had certain dogs that have showed me. So it depends on your bond that you have, and some people just don't ever bond like that, so they don't learn those lessons. But anyways, so this dog in Turkey showed up at a vet's office. They got there in the morning to open up, and this dog comes up with her little puppy in her mouth and puts it down on the thing for them to take care of. And they thought the puppy was dead. Then they found a faint heartbeat. They warmed him up and fed him and stuff, and he came back. And they're like, how did she know where to take him and stuff? And then the news people were saying, well, they think that somebody had taken another one of her puppies, and she saw where they took them, so she went. But I don't know. They want to always say like dogs aren't intelligent or something, and cats too, animals, but they are. And I don't know. It's kind of like we've kind of hurt them, but it's the same kind of thing as like where we've got all these horrible situations, but souls come in to experience them. It's the same thing with animals. There's lots of horrible situations, but they come in to experience them. But I still don't think it's like up to me to decide when she dies. Especially that's what toys with my head, like it toys with my mind, the whole thing. And because with the whining and stuff, you're like, oh my God, is she so miserable? Am I being horrible and selfish, trying to, make her stay alive for me? And this is where, you should put her out of her misery. But then it's like, I don't know. I don't believe like that. And so I swear to God, this fucking shutting here. But so I believe, she has her own window of, I don't have to be the one that opens the window. And because that is a fucking soul entanglement when you are deciding when somebody else is going to go. And so, because it's, I don't know, it's like, when it happens, it's written in the story. Like, if somebody's going to kill you, we're always going to kill you. And, but it's like what you came in to experience, or what you came in to play the part for them to experience. It's all this really complex kind of scenarios playing out. But but when you are coming into your own rationale, your own philosophy, your own way of thinking, your own way of connecting, then, it could still be your drive as well. I believe it's up to me to put them out of their misery. Well, then that's your stuff. Don't just be like, well, she said. No. Follow your stuff. Because your stuff is what you're here to learn from, what you're here to experience. You don't have to learn or experience from my stuff. I just know where I'm at. And it is challenging. Like, man, when I was going to bed last night, I was just like, oh my God, what in the fuck? But so I thought it was going to be miserable, and I thought she was going to keep me up all night. But then she just went and laid outside the tent. That's one thing, is she just getting too hot. And it is. It's like they turn it up or something, the microwave at night. And it is like you are fucking feel like you're being cooked. So, anyways, I thought she was going to keep me up all night. And she laid outside on the concrete in front of the tent. And now Max, he's come and taken her spot. So he's got to lay right next to me. Which, when she decides she wants to come in, then it's like a drama. But this night, there was at one point she hollered out. She made this big moan or whine or something. I jolted up. And I got up, went to go pee. And she just went straight over to where the cookies were. She just wanted me to go give her some cookies. She wants to eat all the motherfucking cookies till there's not any cookies. And then the whole time I'm making them, she wants to eat them while I'm making them. It's like, dude, I want these to last a couple days. Nothing lasts a couple days with her around. Like, she just looks like an eating machine. And then I know people, well, you don't have to feed them. Okay, go get yourself a 175-pound dog that is hungry all the time. And then it's just so easy for people to judge other people. You don't know what somebody else's experience is. Nobody knows how she is when she gets hungry. She gets pissed. She goes over and starts hitting the fridge. She'll go over and sit in front of where the food is and whine and pout and stuff. She's relentless. She doesn't stop. It's like, I surrender. I need fucking peace. But it only lasts a little while. And then she's like, as soon as I start, when she can hear that I'm in stopping, she's ready. Let's go. We got cookies and tea to have. Come on, get up. Let's do it. And it's like, she just ate a giant bowl of food. And always when she eats her food, she wants seconds. She wants thirds. She wants to eat theirs. She wants to eat the food until it's gone. It's like, dude, we'll have no food. That's what we'll have, no food. But the thing that is even crazier is my mom said, oh, she doesn't do that when you're gone. So I keep on thinking, okay, well, this is going to be a nice break for me for these few days. But it's stressing me out because the stairs situation, and she's uncomfortable and stuff. And I'm like, fuck. So I went and got that RSO. I made up all these treats just yesterday. And then I gave her some, and it wasn't doing that much. I was like, shit. But I don't know. It's only for a few days. But then the thing is then on top of it, then we're going to go on this road trip. Unless everything falls apart. If the financial thing shuts down, then I don't see how can we go anywhere if we can't use our cards and we can't use money. It seems like, well, we're going to kind of be stuck. So I don't know. We got to just see how it plays out. and there's no telling what's going to go next. One thing I have noticed is it's so wacky. Crystal, if you're on Twitter, I can't believe you didn't see this already. Like, it is wacky, and you got to go read the comments. When you find one of these posts where they are talking, you think, like, they're talking crazy talk, go fucking read the comments. Oh my God. And I don't know if they're just talking to bots, but it seems like it's real people. It seems like it's real people. And they are so fucking hateful. I can't even believe it. Their whole thing, oh, where's Donald? Where's Donald? Well, what the word on the street is he's dead. He's dead. And it started on Twitter. So that's where it all began. And it was all over the place on there. And then it moved out to other social media. Because the people who were on Dual Ones, then they get it over there, and they want to be the first to announce it over here. So you had all these people coming onto TikTok who were seeing what was, what they had seen over on Twitter. And so, God, my fingers, everything is so swollen, dude. So they were sure he was gone because he's got swollen feet and a bruise on his hand. And then they were keeping it a secret. And I was like, no way. No way. It just would make no sense to me because we're like right in the middle of this stuff. It's like, I mean, it would just, if that were to go that way, how would the people even wake up? Like, and then the other people, it'd be just like we're just being flushed back down into the sewage system of this fucking system. And we're breaking out of it. So I don't see how, it just doesn't make any sense. It's like we're climbing this ladder and the ladder suddenly falls. And so, I don't think he's going to keel over. Like, who would replace him? Who would finish the work? And so, maybe I'm wrong, but maybe there's someone in the thing. But he has such an intricate part to play. And it's, you can, I'm trying to take my rings off. That's what I'm struggling out. As my fingers feel like swollen little sausages, and they just feel uncomfortable. And and they're hard to do. These aren't like, even though they spread, it's hard to spread them, especially when you're doing it with one hand. That's why I can't do the thumb ones. It's like I can't spread them. You have to get a tool, like get pliers or something, pull them apart. Yesterday, though, when I was taking a shower and washing my hair, that's what I need, is something soapy like that, because then that was easier to get them off. But my fingers felt itchy. I'm so uncomfortable. Oh, yeah, because I didn't even finish about that before I go off on this Donald thing. Last night, it kept feeling like I was laying there, but I just kept feeling like I was in these weird fucking dreams. They're so fucking weird. Where if it was back me as a child, I'd have been like, I don't want to go to bed. I don't want to go to bed. I'm going to have nightmares. Because they're just intense, and they're just like, fuck, dude. They're crazy. And I'll feel like I'm awake because I'm sitting here thinking, but then I'm really thinking, and I'm in this other world, like, so weird. So it was so fucking busy, and it was so fucking weird, and it just was weird shit that I don't even know how to explain. And then, but the feeling of the earth, I'm sure the Schumann had to be going crazy. And yesterday, or last night, not this night that we're still in, but the one before, then there was a huge big whiteout part. So there, which I'm sure, because whenever it feels like that, where it feels like the ground is shaking, it feels like everything's really intense, then it always ends up being these crazy Schumann things. And then there's a whole weird with this comet thing too coming, which is also weird when I see people explaining it and they pull up all these maps of space, and I just can't listen. Coming from out here and this, it's like, oh no, I just can't. It's so weird. because it's not like coming from out in space. It's moving through different vibrations, and whatever pictures or whatever they give us is just pictures. Just like that thing where I said that that one business, the one company who has the patent for the what's it called? I just saw a video about it. Whatever it is called, like in Star Trek, when you went in the thing and then you went somewhere else. Well, what the patent is on is a hologram. So you can make a hologram of you go wherever you want to be. Oh, what? I swear to God, it's like some of their stuff, when you listen to some of these patents, like Meta has one for you can, whatever you think, you can create it. And so it's still like using us, trying to pacify us. It's like as you expand, they want to still keep you in a container. So anyways, I don't know. Some of these patents, it doesn't really seem like, it's like, okay, so you want to pick up on our thoughts, you want to, I don't know, it's a whole bunch, whatever these patents are. And then, yeah, so instead of me moving my whole self, my consciousness, I'm just going to move a hologram. I'm just going to make a hologram of me showing up somewhere. What the fuck? Who gives a fuck about that? It's like, if I want to go somewhere, I want to go somewhere. I'm going to have a hologram of me in Paris right now, so it can experience, this picture of me it can experience. It's like, what the fuck is the point of that? So I don't know if there's more to it that I'm not understanding, but that's how this video was explaining it. So there's, but dreams are weird, the night's weird. Whereas like, even when I finally got up at like 2:30, then I was like, okay, it's easier to sleep in the day. The night is so fucking intense. I can't even believe it. Even though as soon as I lay down, I'll be in some dream place. But the night is so intense. It's so weird. And I don't know, is it because we're all the people are going to sleep at the same time and we're all picking up on each other's energy and dreams and stuff, which would be a good reason of why we would need more separation, to not be so close on top of everybody else, you know? We need more space. And, but, see, I start skipping all over the place. I'm shedding like a bitch. But and my brains are driving me crazy. Let me see, where was I? Because I wanted to finish talking about one thing before I started on this Donald thing. But, I don't know, maybe I finished, maybe I didn't, fuck if I know. But let's just skip on over to Donald. So anyways, so you go in and these people are all like, oh, he's dead, he's gone. And I'm thinking, no, he's not. And if you knew anything that was going on, you'd know like where we're at on this money thing, and that he would be being kept safe because this would be the last shebang, you know, that's switching. It's supposed to be switching here tomorrow. Like this would be our last day, and it's supposed to be switching over. So that would be the most intense, dangerous time, because that's when they took the towers down. So, because this was supposed to happen under Junior, that rotten son of a bitch. We know what he did, or what he was involved in. He's a oh god, oh god, he's a puppet. So he's an ignoramus. So then I'm gonna work on the next one. So then, but that's what they'll do. They'll go to extreme to keep control over the money, because it's their way to control us. They came up with the plan. It's their whole thing. But it's now they've created a society that's dependent on it. And I think probably throughout different societies, I mean, we had to have ways to get things and barter and trade, but it wasn't so how it is now. Fuck, dude. I watched this movie yesterday. It was a true story. And it was just more confirmation on what people will do for money. It was like, and the way that people will lie. Like, this guy, this is a true story, and he got married a lot, but then towards the end of his marriages, well, once he had been married like four times or something, it was the fourth or the fifth one, he decided the easiest way out was just to kill her. So then what he would use is this poison, and so he didn't get detected in the first one. So he thought, well, I'll do it with the next one too, because he'll be cheating on the one, and he'll just he thinks he's leveling up. And so he was leveling up onto this other girl. So he did in the other one, who he was cheating on his other wife with. So he just was like this leapfrogging. And so he, since he didn't get caught on the other one, so he just did the exact same thing on this one. And so then he started trying to, he was going to kill our whole family. And then they already knew, because the last wife that was still alive, she was suspicious. And so she went to this cop who already was investigating him for something else. So they kind of paired up and were investigating, and he had moved to another city. And so she was kind of investigating the one, the cop was in the other, and then they would have these meetups. And so at some point, they told the girl's family, the last one that got killed, they told her family, and he would put this poison inside ice cream because it would be so hot if you ate it. So he'd make homemade ice cream and then get him to eat it. So we went to this whole dinner, because when they told him, the people were like, oh my God, because they had to pretend like everything was fine until he was arrested. And they had to get enough evidence, and they had to find, there was a bunch of evidence they had to get. And so they had to pretend like, they still liked him and they trusted him and stuff. And he comes over, has dinner, and then he brought the dessert. He brought the ice cream. And, they're all like, like he's ready to kill the mom, the dad, and her son. And he's just a monster. And then and I had to do with money too, because there was money stuff. Because the one girl, the ex-wife that was still alive, she worked at the bank. She was able to look in and see some stuff. And so there was always money. I don't know that he was doing all the life insurance things, but probably. I mean, he was getting property and stuff. And the way he'll lie and say, that he loves them and stuff. And then, so then he goes to have this dinner with them, and the dad goes, well, I'll get the ice cream. He knew what was up with the ice cream. So then he starts carrying all the dishes in and drops them all, and it all breaks and goes on the floor. So all the ice cream on the floor. And so he's like, whew, because you got to do something. So then he wanted his something with his mom's money, because then it was a whole thing where he was telling her she was going to move, and he was putting her house up for sale because he wanted her to move by him. And then so he puts the house, this is a true story, by the way, in case I didn't say that. So he puts the house on the market, and then he starts telling her that she has to pay him for this down payment of this other house. So this is where the banking lady could see he was taking the one lady's money, but it wasn't going in, it was just going into his thing. And then the other guy, he was putting money into the grandson's college fund, but somehow it was being taken out and going into this guy's account. So there's a weird thing about money for sure. And he was something involved with race car driving, not professional, but I don't know. I mean, it was still a competition where they wore outfits and all that stuff, but it wasn't, I don't know that it wasn't the guy that would go, whatever. There's lots of race cars, lots of racing. But, so anyways, he over to his mom. He had been giving her the ice cream for weeks, and she was getting sicker and sicker because it takes like 3 weeks to for it to build up enough to kill you. And so then she died, and that's where they got the evidence, because and they had to fucking beg the coroner to take tissue samples. It's like the system is such bullshit, man. And so once they got the tissue samples and can prove that what he was using, then they had to go find this stuff. But he, one of the things though, I don't know, through conjecture, or seeing what made him so crazy. So the one wife was over there talking to the mother-in-law, because they were close. And the mother-in-law was already sick, but she didn't know that she was being eaten ice cream. And so she just thought, well, she's a little lady, she just got the flu or something. But she was looking through an old album, old pictures when the son was young. And she comes across this one, and she's like, who's this in the dress? And she's like, oh, that's him. That's what I used to do to punish him. And the lady was like, what? And the mom was like, yeah, nothing ever worked. So I would just put a dress on him, and then I would tie him to the fence out front and humiliate him in front of all the neighbors. And she had taken a picture. And this guy, he wanted all those pictures gone. Because when he came over later to give her next bowl of ice cream, he saw the picture out. And he freaked the fuck out. And, but anyway, so he killed her. But that's the one that got him busted. So, and then I don't remember, he got the gas chamber, I think. But, I mean, his wasn't insurance fraud, but I've seen enough of these movies where these guys will marry somebody just to kill him to get insurance. Like, that has gone on recently, where people do that. Like, that's another thing about insurance. Our whole system is just built for scammers, I swear to God. If you have no integrity and you're just a scammer who just wants money, this is the place for you. Set up for you. And then they're, you know, like the rest of us are all sitting there like, how do they get ahead? How do they get ahead? Well, because they have no fucking morals. That's how. They don't give a shit about anybody. They're just fucking selfish. But you can enjoy your ride while you're here, but you're going to face the consequences, because you are building your own, what we refer to as karma, but you're building your own energetic return. So you just, even though when the souls come in, they all have to agree to the parts they play, but still there's a karmic debt to the lessons, to the learning, which is weird, because you'd think that all of us would say like, no way, I'm not doing that. I don't want to learn that. I don't care to learn that so much, which I think is the beneficial thing of learning from observation and not through judgment. As judgment holds you back from learning. When you are observing and watching things, you can have more clarity. But when you sit back and be, well, they should have done this, they should have done that, then it's like, yeah, but you're not there. You don't know what their experience is. Just tune in more to what their experience is and learn like, well, I wouldn't want to be in that position. I wouldn't want to do that. You got to be careful. Like, you can learn the things you need to be careful about. Like, you can learn that the stuff on the stove is hot by watching somebody get burned, you know what I mean? Now my tea's starting to get cold. But so, anyways, so learning, these people, oh, it's almost off. Oh, God. My fucking knuckles. God dang. When you're a kid and you pop your knuckles all the time, they're always like, oh, your knuckles are going to get huge. I don't know if that's what did it, but I did stop. Like, but I used to do that when I was a kid. Pop your knuckles. Oh, pop your knuckles all the time. And people say, oh, they're going to get big. So I stopped, but they're still big. God, that hurt. But my fingers are like swollen little sausages. Like, what the hell? I don't know. It's got to be something with the poison, with the stiffness and stuff. But that's why I'm wearing this copper rings and stuff, because my mom swears it's going to make it all better. But I think there's more to it. It's not just arthritis. There's fucking poisons and shit that cause inflammation, and whatever. And it also depends on your own chemical makeup. So what all the poisons you're already carrying in your package, and then what they put on top of it is the little chemistry outcome that you have. So we don't all have the exact same thing, even though there's a lot of similarities through the different sicknesses. But I think it's kind of like geographical. It's like, you know, people who have all been taken in the same poisons kind of have the same reactions. So, anyways, back to Donald. So, it makes no sense to me that he would be taken out at this point of the game, at this point of the changeover, the situation we're in the middle of. It's like I said, it's like the train left the station, and so now all of a sudden the conductor is going to be is that who drives the train, the conductor? Or is that the guy who takes the tickets? The guy who drives the train, all of a sudden, he's going to keel over and they're going to switch him out for another guy that we don't even know. It doesn't, I don't know, that doesn't make sense to me. So, anyways, but these people who have no clue about any of the stuff going on, and they look at everything so backwards. Like when you listen to them talk, that's why you can go read their comments, and you can see, like, which one thing about them too is they have, well, you could say they have a good heart, except for they're just wishing death on this person all the time, which is creepy as fuck, that they're gonna celebrate that. But they do think they're doing it for a good cause, because they think that he is destroying everything. But it's so weird. It's like he's destroying these programs. He's ruining the homeless life. He's ruining all these different things. But it's like, yeah, because he's trying to create a change. He's trying to get us out of being homeless, out of being in poverty. She keeps moving her way over and over right under my cord. So whereas they think he's destroying something, he's taking down things that are destroying us. But they don't see it that way, because they just think he's a monster. He's destroying the world. So they feel justified in their wishes of death upon him. But so they have, like, in their heart, they think he's the monster. And so, you know, it's so there's like good intentions mixed with bad intentions. It's so weird, because it's like there's so much light and dark mixed in. But that's why each person has to see themselves, because you know how much light and dark that you have, because you know what you are putting out. That's where you have to be honest with yourself. And that's why the lights are going to get brighter and brighter until you can see yourself clearly. And the more you look away and the more you don't want to see yourself, the more harm you're doing for yourself, because you are making it to where you're not taking, like, the universe is giving you this great time in order to grow and see yourself, but you don't want to see it, you don't want to do it. That's what is going to hold certain people back. That's going to be the vibration that people are stuck in. And and I already saw a video conference talking about it was this whole wall of all these people who left from the whole situation, and who caused it. Each time they would show a picture of one of the people involved, there was a sound like the squad. And they said, why isn't there an arrest yet? And it's like, I think that there has been. I think they've already faced the squad personally. So I think a lot of these people are fake people that are out playing roles. And that's the thing, where these other people, that all that was conspiracy. All that was wacky. You know, any of us that were saying, like, that's not really Joe. Well, we're crazy. And of course it is. Like, how could it not be? The news wouldn't talk about it. You know, they can't see it. It's a conspiracy. But this is the part where I'm seeing where now all of a sudden they're discussing it. So, well, that, because now So Donald was seen yesterday morning. It didn't look like him at all to me, but he was with his granddaughter at a golf course or something. And so they were all like, oh, but still. Then they started going, well, I don't think that's the real one. So see how they just led right into that, where we were be talking about that. It was completely mental conspiracy, but now they're like, no, I don't think that's the right one. It doesn't look right. I think that it's a clone or it's a stand-in or something. Which, see, when we're all saying that about like Joe and stuff like that, we all seem like we're crazy. Well, see, now he is getting them to awaken to these certain things that we already know is going on in the world. We already know that they're putting people in masks and tricking us. But I mean, on our side at this point, we can see like, oh, well, it's for the betterment. It's not like they're trying to trick us to be evil now. It's trying to get us to see, but they couldn't have the real people show us. So they had to have actors who play the people show us because the other people are too rotten. And so it's not like, you could be Schwab and you're going to go out, oh, okay, yeah, well, I'm caught, okay. Or Gator or the fraud. How are you going to get these people to come out and play the parts of them themselves being bad? It's like, no, you have to have a stand-in. You have to have somebody else play the part. So so they weren't trying to trick us to make us, because we've been tricked in the past through a lot of different situations. But now, since he's been trying to expose the truth, then they were putting people in suits, costumes, to play the part of the bad people so that we could see the links between the bad people. To me, it's like a lot of seeing the laundry system, because that's a big part. It's such a big part of this financial institution that they created, and the things that drive it, and the laundry system behind it, and who feeds off of it, who's suckling off of this system, all the puppets involved, because of what they'll do for money. And so there's a whole thing about it. So anyways, I don't feel like that they're just trying to trick us. They're trying to show more of the truth. And then we were trying to tell people and say, no, there's clones, there's people in masks, all that stuff. And they're like, oh my God, you're so crazy. You're such a conspiracy theorist. Just get off the internet, crazy. But now that it's Donald, now see, their attitude's totally changed. And I guess the seeds were dropped and now they're grabbing them and they're taking them. So one of the things was just the fact that they were like, where is he? Where is he? Where is he? It's like, well, I just saw him talking about signing executive orders. Like, I don't know what you guys are talking about. It seems like it's like this game of telephone. It's like they're not paying attention to the stuff he's doing, so then they can just go on there. Somebody can start the rumor, and then it just builds up into a giant fire. It's like a wildfire. So somebody drops the match, and then this wildfire goes. And so it seemed like that is what they did to me. It seems like they were purposely starting this rumor, which just was bumpering off of their other premonition or prophecy that he was going to be gone on the 24th. And they already all bought their bottles of champagne. They bought it weeks ahead, before the 24th. They were all ready. They were sure, because these psychics and all these astrologers, which are all blue leaning people, they had told him. It's like, man, you gotta really watch out who you trust with your information, and what their perspective is, what their lens, what they're looking at. But that's gonna be a part of the lessons. Oh, I forgot I had this in here. Let's see if I can open it that way. I just gotta get these fucking things off. They're driving me fucking crazy. So my thumb joints are bitch ass big ones. I swear to God, I've got these big ass fucking. That's a thing, see, where they can sit there and go, oh, see, that's really a guy. Look at the size of her hands. Okay, well, because I have big hands, I got long arms and legs, big feet, whatever. I don't even know with my clavicle, like my voice, and be like, oh, because Miley Cyrus, like, and there's a video of her in concert, and she says she's a drag queen. She says she's a drag queen, and then all these people like, I knew it, and she's got a raspy kind of voice, and everybody's like, oh, I knew it, I knew she was a guy. She's just tiny. She's really small. Which that should just go to show you right there. Well, see, guys can be a little tiny. That I don't know. All these people are just so upside down to me, or just so paranoid. Everybody's the wrong body, and it's like I don't know. It's weird. So, anyways, but they, they would if they would start roasting me. They'd be like, ah, that's a guy for sure. Look, she doesn't even have boobs. She's got long arms and legs. Her knees jolt out. Her voice, you can tell with her voice. It's like, dude, I've got all the girl parts. I had kids. It grew inside my body. So think what you want. I don't think our big hands and big feet and long legs and long arms are the giveaway. But whatever. Oh, God. Oh, God, that feels so good. Oh, God, I just need to rub my hands. Okay, finish that. Okay, so, anyways, so then you start having them where they're like, let's see, so they were prophesized he was going to be gone on the 24th. He wasn't. They were all disappointed. They're all sad. So then it bumpers into this new fucking match being lit that, where is he? Where is he? And, but, like I said, I freaking had seen him all the first part of the week, sitting there writing executive orders and saying all sorts of stuff. It seemed like he was doing a lot of shit. But then there was a video on one of them where he sits there and he makes sure that people can see this bruise on his hand. So it's like he's doing this on purpose. He wants them to think he's on the verge of death, like a bruise on your hand is he's about to die. God dang, how many old people have you been around? So so then they let me think, because there was two different conspiracies that I saw them do. For one of the things though, because Joe would go missing for weeks, and then there would be all these people like, where's Joe? Where's Joe? And it's all like, oh, maybe this is it. Maybe this is it. And well, I know the real Joe is long gone. This is an actor. So we're not all sitting here wishing death on this guy. We're just wishing the truth. We're wishing the big reveal. And so we're wishing, that they would start showing the truth. But see, it's got to go in this undercurrent. It's got to be this undercurrent that sucks these people down and shoots them out, because they've got to pull all of this negative shit inside of themselves to the surface. And so they weren't paying any attention when Joe was going gone. They weren't paying any attention where we're all saying he's in a mask. And they weren't paying any attention to the bullshit he was doing. Everything he was doing was perfectly A-okay. It's like, what? And the fact that they were like, now they're sitting there focused on how much stuff costs. It's like, this other guy was driving up the price the whole motherfucking time. What are you talking about? This guy's trying to reduce the prices. He's trying to clean up all the messes that this fucking dickhead made. They don't see any of that, which is weird. And so they're so hyper-focused. TDS is like an all-encompassing thing, man. And so and see how it has to be used. It's being used to create these people to wake up, because they have to wake up through their hate, their division. They have to wake up and see these sides of themselves. And so one of the things was, so they're not paying attention to what he's doing. And he's out there doing this stuff, making peace treaties and shit. And all of a sudden, they think he's disappeared. He's got a goddamn bruise on his hand. His legs were swollen, and which there's supposedly several Donalds, anyways. and which they could be clones, they could also be stand-ins, just like there was several Hillarys. There's always several of all these people. So, so then, because there was another thing too. So then they started saying, you know, where was he? And they were all being so hopeful. And in the comments, they're all like, you know, they're sure he's gone. And then the media, because I was upstairs and the news was on, and I said, have they said anything about Donald? And she said, no, they're just repeating shit all from last week. They just repeat. I said, oh, okay, because on social media it's going around that he's gone. But no way, the news would be reporting on it. It would be interrupt the news. And so there was nothing. It was fucking crickets. And so, which is weird to say crickets, because crickets make a lot of fucking noise. Or is it grasshoppers? I think it's both. Yeah, because those crickets that were coming in here, they look like fucking aliens for one thing. They were noisy as fuck, which is, it's weird that they aren't in here all the time now, because I'll still hear them when I go outside. But they stopped coming in, but that big ass spider's still up there. But he's just staying in his corner. But anyways, so, and there's the big ass spider over there too. So they're everywhere. Fuck, man. Supposedly for every one spider you see, there's like 100 more hidden or something like that. But I doubt it's 100, but it's a lot. But anyways, so they, so they're all ready to celebrate, and then they start saying, okay, so then this video comes out, and him on his golf cart with his granddaughter, and then it shows him, and he looks fatter to me. He looks like a lot fatter, and like it didn't really look like him to me. But so then they start all talking and saying, oh no, that's from 2019. They're putting that out as if it's real. Oh my God, I hope it's still. Oh, we're sure. They all kept saying it. They all day yesterday kept seeing it. Oh no, they were still sure. He's gone. They're just trying to trick us. So then see how they start seeing like they're being tricked. They're being tricked by the media. They're putting out old photos, old videos and stuff and tricking us, because that was one of the things the media did that was like a big one that I remember, was when they started putting out the cages and showing, you know, the kids in cages and all that. And then the CNN and Rachel Maddow, the fucking, these people, oh, made me sick. But, so they were putting out these videos that were like, are you really this bad at your job that you don't know where these videos come from? Or are you manipulating us? Because I'm pretty sure you're just manipulating us. So they started saying that these were Donald's from the border and that he had created this, but really it was Barack's videos. So it was, they were taking these videos and then putting them and blaming them on this guy, and then everybody's like, oh my God, that's so horrible. Well, isn't that funny? It's so horrible, but it's not even him doing it. It's that other guy's videos that you love. So see how the big switcheroo, but a lot of them don't see what's switching, because they don't open their eyes, their mind, or anything to the conspiracy behind what's going on. They just believe what they're told. And so when they say, oh no, these are videos that we got from Alligator Alcatraz, it's all Donald, it's like, you know, it's all these other people, and it's all being shown. But see, that was like where they first started, like I started hearing them opening their minds to the videos, the being tricked. So see, now that they've got that out there, like they're putting out videos to trick us, now just wait until they get flooded with all the videos that have been tricking them. And because they've been tricked in a different direction than what they think. And so anyways, I don't know if that was from 2019. I don't even know if that was really him. But I don't, there's one guy who yesterday, he was like, Donald was posting all day, giving all sorts of drops. All sorts of things are happening, going in the direction we wanted to go in, because these people who are trying to be resistant to the change, they don't realize what is really changing here, and they don't understand this is our road to freedom. This is our way out of this fucking trap, out of this fucking matrix world that was created to contain us. This is our path out of it. And he's the one who is holding the light. But so many people are resistant to go and see. But as you go, then you start seeing what is really happening. And so, and he's puts drops out there all the time. But that's where this letter comes in. And so if there's somebody who you can follow that does all these comps or whatever they're called, where they go in and then there's certain words, like there was a word he had put in a post and he said it like 20 times in one post. It's one word. So then they go look up that word. So you just search the word in the post, which there's tons and tons of posts of the letter, and you search it. Then every post that has that word in it pops up. Then you start seeing the message and you start seeing the relevance of what's happening right now in the message that he's putting the drop out. So there's this whole thing, which I found fascinating when I started first realizing this way back. I was like, this is kind of a fun game. And it was kind of like I was really wishing that there was somebody more in my family who would be interested in it, because it was like this mystery game. It was like this, you know, what does the drop say? And it was, I don't know, it was really interesting because it's so intricate too. But see, everybody thought, no, that's crazy, that's not real and stuff, but it was really going, and they really continue, and it's really crazy how it's, which to me is like, there's only one way that they could know that stuff, and it's through Looking Glass. And so if you think about that too, how they could predict these things so accurately of when they were going to happen, which to me is the Looking Glass. Well, doesn't that throw off this whole concept of these people? Oh, we just jumped timelines. We just changed. The universe didn't see that one coming, did it? It's like, wow, how are we changing? Because they said that this was going to happen, and now it's happening right when they said it's going to happen. So the stuff is happening accurately to when they said. And some of it could be where it's just more vague, because some of these posts are like from 2017, 2018. And so then you think, well, it could have happened in 2021. It could have happened in when other times when people have looked up these words or whatever. And because there was a lot of times that were really hopeful throughout, where it's like, oh, maybe this is it. Maybe this is it. And then it would just drag and drag and drag. So maybe in the Looking Glass, they don't have the exact date, but the thing about the ride, what I say about destiny and fate, and that this is the ride that humanity went on for change. So this is the change that is occurring. And, you know, they may not know exactly on what date, but there has been some that were so accurate. Like when RBG, when she was going to go, like that was accurate. And the way that they held that information back. Hillary, like there's a lot of ones where they have really accurate stuff. But some of the stuff that's getting exposed right now is certain leaders, certain things with these institutions like Red, with the you know, that, the cross thing, and then stuff with these other countries, like Saudi Arabia, which has so much to do with the money and the organizations that keep control, because a lot of things have to do with these terror, if you take horrorists, so if you take those people and they go under these different names in different places, like the CARTEL, the ISIS, the HAMAS, they're just all though the same organization. And there's being exposed about the president of Mexico, her involvement, if she's paid by these people. But a lot of these people, they get into positions where these organizations, the horrorists, they always have the control. So you could go into politics thinking you're going to change the world, but then all of a sudden you find yourself in this deep web of control by these organizations, and so you're kind of stuck. Because once they get you in there, they'll take out your family, they'll do all sorts of things. They don't give a shit. So you're kind of in a trap at that point. But anyways, so there's different things being exposed right now that are all going to keep going in this direction, because everything is about exposing the criminal institution that has been running this world. And but to me, when I see this stuff happening with Donald, it's like these things that we've been talking about that they consider conspiracy suddenly isn't a conspiracy when it's coming from him. So all of a sudden they start seeing this stuff, this truth, like, oh, well, there's clones, there's guys in a mask. I don't think that's really him. Well, I think they're tricking us with this video and stuff. So it's like, see how they start waking up, they start seeing. And so it's going to become a lot more bigger. It's going to just get bigger and bigger, especially if this is the last day on this system, which supposedly they've been switching us over to this other system all along. But if this were the last day, and tomorrow, even though tomorrow's a holiday, especially a bank holiday, so what will we really see? I don't know. Would it be like you go try and use your card, nothing will work, and then you go try and talk to the bank on Tuesday? Maybe the bank's going to be full of people like asking what the fuck's going on. I don't know. You have to try it. And then there could be some places where it would work and some places it wouldn't. I don't know. It could turn into real chaotic. And so it just, however it goes is how it's going to go. But I still think that this is, and maybe it will be nothing. Maybe it will be just like, they'll just keep going regular. But, I don't know, there's been such a big buildup on this debt calculator thing. And for that to say September 1st, and I swear to God, there was some post he said too. But so September 1st to be the beginning of the gold and silver and the end of the FED reserve. So, because that was a scam. They didn't have, I don't know where they were keeping all of the gold now, but it's gonna, and they can't just go giving it to these governors that just take the stuff and put it in their pockets. They have to expose all these criminals. And then there has to be people who are gonna be more stepping up into roles, which I think is all gonna happen supernaturally, because that probably has to do with this redemption thing or something. And there's people who have it already encoded into them. So it's a part of their code of what they're here for. So it's the role that they're here to play in stepping into community leaders and stuff. And so, and it is going to have something, it has a lot to do with humanitarian projects. And so if you are, when you go to your redemption center, there's going to be certain people, or redemption appointment, there would be certain people who are going to have, this whole plans on community and stuff. So they would be kind of held to the side, not literally, but they would be like, okay, they would be kind of shuffled in, like, okay, so all these people go to the redemption appointments. We all go in, and some people are just going to be, whining about, reparations, and lots of people are going to want the med beds once they see about that. But it's going to be based on vibration, and they have some fucking machine that can read your vibration, apparently. And, my nose is running. God, it's always something, I swear to God. So then you have, your vibration thing. So that's going to have to do with if you can go into the med bed right away. But there's going to be all of this healing modalities or healing focus in our society. So there's going to be a lot of focus on that anyways. So even if you aren't at the high vibration that you need to be to go in those, there's all these new vibration beds and all these healing and stuff. So it's going to be a big focus on people getting their shit together and healing And there's going to be more and more focus on the toxicity in the food and the lies we've been told about what to eat, when to eat, and all that stuff. So there's going to be a lot of big shifts in how people take care of themselves. But so you have all these people that go into the redemption centers for their appointment. And there's going to be people who come in there with these elaborate plans over community building and all of that kind of stuff. So then you say they take them and they are like, okay, we got this guy, and this guy. They're all focused over here. We got these freedom cities, say, that we're going to start putting up. So we want these people to be going in there to become the new leaders of community. So it's kind of like they may not know who the leaders are yet, but once they start going in and having people come, then they're going to start knowing who the leaders are. So they have to get rid of these old ones because they would just take the money and run. They don't give a shit about building community. They don't give a shit about helping people. And that's why they've got to quit. They got to get these shadow organizations out. SNAP, DSH, all these ones that are there to help people that are really not there to help people. They're there to contain and control, keep people in poverty, and then take grant money and keep misusing it. It's just another shell in the system of the laundromat. So it's just a part of the nonsense. But the new leaders that are coming in, they are driven by something different in their soul and stuff. So they're already changed more over there. So there's going to be, because there's going to be in communities, there's going to be people who you would think of as leaders, but it's not going to be the same thing as like politicians. And they're going to be a lot more like cheerleaders or something to get more people involved. But then there's going to have to be, they're going to carry the load for a while though, because there's going to be a lot of people who are going to be a mess. But there's going to be people who will start stepping in to more roles, because there's going to be, it would be more like councils, like how we have city council, but the city council is corrupted because they get payoffs for things, and then they are paid to go in certain directions and stuff, because this laundry system goes all the way down. That's why it's so stupid to keep looking at way out here when we have it right in every community. In every community, there's not communities out here that are, oh no, they're not corrupted. No, there's people who are corrupted in all these different communities, and they keep being exposed and being exposed. And it's like fire chiefs. It's like the deacon of the church. It's like all these people who people respect, and it's coming out that they are criminal. Like, fuck. This one cop who just shoved the pacifier down his kid's throat, gave him a brain bleed, and injured his throat because this little baby's crying, and he was so irritated. And this isn't the first, now his wife's come out, this isn't the first abuse thing that he's done, but she was worried because he's a cop. What's she gonna do? And but there's more of those. There's more like firemen, police, all doing these crimes. So it's, all these people who we trusted in the communities, they're all going to be going down, and it's going to be new ones coming up. Only the ones that are coming up, that are going to come up now, are going to be ones that have more integrity. They're here to fulfill a role, and so they'll start building up new communities. Like new leaders will come in, and then as more people get more situated in their emotional seeing the world, then and get more control of themselves, then they'll step in, and then there'll be more like councils. And but it's going to be different because we've had those before, but it just is like there's been so much corruption, like where there was like 5 men running the town, and if you didn't do what they said, then they would do you in. Women couldn't get anywhere. It was like a whole thing. But it's going to be changed. It's probably going to be a lot of women that are going to be stepping into big roles. we're going to go more into this balanced society, but I bet you that's a part of this switching from the patriarch to the matriarch, switching into the divine feminine, all of that kind of energy. I bet you when there's going to be a lot of women who are going to be stepping into big roles in the community, and they're going to be way more driven over family, fairness, equality, unity. It's already in them. It's just going to come out, and it's going to spread through the towns and stuff. So there will be all of this money that's going to go into these towns to build projects. So it'd be more like, people would be going and saying, well, we want to do this. And I don't know how it will all be figured out. It would probably be in different places. Like if somebody, like they get a certain amount of money to build these communities, and then there's going to be certain things that are going to be needed. And which right now the school's going off on a whole fucking weird ass shit, man. It's going so much weirder. I heard this lady talking about it. I was like, oh my God, people have got to get their fucking kids out of school. It's like the WE, now they're involved, and it's going to go all digital. It's going to be so much mind control. So much, I mean, it's just getting creepier and creepier. And so it's got to get creepier and creepier for people to finally put the brakes on and be like, wait a minute. Because they just keep complying, whatever they do. It's like, well, we have to. Well, the kids got to go to school. Well, all this, it's like, well, we got to do what we got to do. It's like, well, when does change occur? Change has to be when you say, I'm not doing that. But everybody just keeps on going. So they just get worse and worse and worse. And the school thing is about to get way worse. And the woman I heard talking about, they said because he tore down the education system or something, because he had to tear it down, just the same as he has to tear down SNAP, same thing he has to tear down the VA, same thing he has to tear down all these things that are all fucking corrupted. And so now though, the W with the E and the F has stepped in to save the day. So the globalists will save the day on America and the education system. That's what we want. We want a fucking more zombie world. And so, but, whatever, it's going to go further and further into weirdo world. But each person is going to have to keep pulling free. But as new communities start building, they're going to go in different directions on education. And there's going to be a lot of money, but he's also, don't forget, he's already said he's going to pay people to stay home and teach their own kids. But there's going to be other education things. So other people, when they go in and they want to start being a part of building up these communities, I always see it. Whenever I see it, it always seems like it is a community center. Like there's going to be a lot of community centers. So like a meeting place, like back in the olden days, how there was the Grange or something, and everybody would meet there, and that's where the city council guys would be there making decisions for the town or whatever, and you could go and sit and talk to them and stuff. So, but there was a lot of control of this patriarch. This other is going to be different. It's going to be a lot more, let's all work together. And so, to me, it seems like there's going to be these community centers in a lot of places, and then it will be more like what we think of now is like tutors or something. So people will have more, like you could pay someone to teach your kid these different things, but it's going to be a lot more stuff. There's going to be a lot more arts and music, a lot more working towards, finding your talents and working on your own skills and stuff. So there's going to be lots of people who have skills that will be able to go to these community centers and make money teaching. So they don't have to go through all this education in school, like a guitar player. You can be like, well, I'm going to go teach kids how to play guitar, and I'm going to have this room over here every Tuesday afternoon at 3 o'clock. I'll be here, and how, different people come to his class. His class gets bigger, then he has to have another day. And so it's going to build, and people are going to start, like a painter, somebody who knows how to do pottery, somebody knows how to do basket weaving, somebody knows it. Like, there's lots of different things. People are super creative. And so, and then you can share their creativity with other people, and people are going to have a lot more money to pay to have individual people teaching their kids. So that's what it always seems like to me, that there's going to be these places where it's like a mecca, like a centralized location where there's like a meeting place where everybody's at, and it's going to be a lot more, like, kids aren't running the street. They're down at the community center learning and being in groups and stuff. Like, because everything that they tried to do, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, everything became corrupted. And everything was being pervs being in there and people taking advantage of people. So it's all going to change, though. And so there'll be like community centers where, getting a lot of boys to go and learn how, playing basketball and playing basketball against each other, and just a lot of different things. It's going to be, that's how I see it. So I am sure there's going to be some communities that are going to be like that. But I don't know how they'll all do it. But I don't think it's going to be so much like these institutions, like this kid prison. They get up, they go there in the morning, and then they're there all day. And people aren't going to work the same either. And there's going to be, but like, your kid could get up and go to the community center, and because there's going to be a lot of activities, there'll be a lot of kids, and they aren't going to be being in trouble because there's going to be a lot of adult supervision, because there's going to be a lot of teachers and stuff. It just seems like it's so much more of an organized society and so much more structured. It's like right now, it's like it was set up to fail. It was set up to have problems. But it's going to be more of the village, where it takes a village. So even if you had a job, like every Wednesday and Friday, you're gone all day to go work somewhere, where things about work is going to be changing a lot. There's going to be so many changes in our society. And there's going to be a lot of AI doing the work, but the work you do is going to be a lot more beneficial. You're going to get paid a lot more for the value of what you carry, what you bring to the table. And so before, where it was, they didn't even want people to build up their skills. They didn't want people to build up their value for themselves. So they kept people more stagnant. But now, for the people who have been learning, like the ones I am always noticing, like, there's some fucking kick-ass crocheters out there. There's these people, all sorts of clothing designer people that are all over the internet. They aren't just down on these, in these certain areas, where these areas are also being raided and stuff, because not only do they have people enslaved, but they're also a big part of the traffic problem. And the trade industry, is the slave industry. So there's so many different institutions in our current society that are feed off of this energy. And so, but those places are being raided and taken down and stuff. And so, but the newer ones, so the people who have been putting work and effort into themselves and like revising themselves and building their skills, they're going to be able to share it in different ways. Like I feel certain we're going to get clothes made differently. Like, we're going to have people that will more independent, not this, go to Walmart and buy $3 shirts that everybody's wearing the same shirt. It's going to be a lot more individual and a lot more talented people who aren't out there corrupted. And then also see those people can also teach. So I think there's going to be a big go up on these people who have been doing that, building themselves up. And then the other people are going to, see like, oh, well, I could learn how to do something. I could learn it. And people are going to build themselves up. But maybe for a while, people are going to kind of make money off of healing. Maybe people are going to be paid to heal for a while. I don't know. I don't know, but it's going to be big changes. Maybe that's going to be the thing about the reparations is like, well, if you're healing and you are working and focusing on yourself or worry or focus and helping build up communities, then you're going to be given back. You're going to be having money come to you. Things will be taken care of for you. Your resources will be free. Your home will be free. And then there can be bartering and trading. So I don't know. I think it just got to open yourself up to letting go of the way things have been done, because that has all been in order to control and contain us. And now it's going to go into this way more open. But I definitely see the people who have been working on themselves going up to the top. So where it seemed like that there was these other people who were going to the top, but really they were digging their own hole, and these other ones that were going up, but it didn't seem like it was going up. But it's like when the thing switches, it's going to be like we're going to see like all these people that were putting time and effort into themselves, that was going up. The others were going down. And so it's when it switches, because right now it seems like these ones are going up and these ones aren't really doing anything. But then when it switches, it's going to be like, oh, these ones were digging a hole and these ones were building their way up. And so, and then for the other ones that have just been kind of lost in this whole thing, see, that's when they're going to see and they're going to be like, oh, this is where a lack of integrity gets you. And this is where skill building and putting time and effort into yourself gets you. So it's going to be the drive that's going to start motivating a lot more people to go out and discover themselves, go out and see what they're good at, and become a lot more, it's going to be better versions of themselves. Because right now, a lot of people, are the worst version of themselves. And they are unhappy. They don't like themselves. But when you, sometimes when you don't like yourself, it's your soul telling you it's time to make a change. There's a reason why you don't like yourself, so be honest with yourself. What is it you don't like about yourself? Some people, a lot of people in this day and age, they don't like themselves because they don't like their body. They don't like, they're too fat. They don't take, and they know in their heart they're not taking good enough care of themselves. And so then it's like, well, you're not liking yourself is trying to tell you you need to take better care of yourself. But, so people are going to tune more into the messaging that their body is sending them and quit fighting against it. And so people are going to go more into feeling better about themselves and building themselves up. But it's got to have that switch. Like, and everything right now is upside down. Just like I said, these people who look like they're building themselves up, but really they're digging their own hole. And the other ones that seem like they're going nowhere, just going around and around and around, but they're building themselves up, they're all of a sudden it's going to take off. It's like they're running on this hamster wheel, building themselves, and then all of a sudden when everything switches, it's like it's going to be like a door opens and they're all going to just all of a sudden just take off. There's going to be a lot of people who are going to all of a sudden go up when things change. But it's like when you think of the leaders, it's the ones that are holding the light. It's the ones that are leading us in a new direction. And so they are going to show how it's done through role modeling, kind of show like where you can get to. So it's not so much of just leaders, but it's leaders, but it's not in the same concept of what leaders were. It's more of leading us on a better path, but not leading us, it's showing us. And so it's so people can see, it's like they can see possibilities, and so it opens them up more to going into new directions. So it's not like leading you to, this guy's doing good at this, so I'm just going to go do what he's doing. That kind of stuff isn't going to be going like that now. And so it's going to be like going more in touch of what it is, like your purpose is, your direction, what you're here to experience, and seeing the possibilities of, like, I feed that part of myself, feed that part of my soul, that I can get going in that direction. Because all these other people, it's going to be like a whole bunch of people that all of a sudden become successful by following their dreams and doing the things that make them happy. And so, but that's going to get a lot of other people motivated into doing that for themselves, which is going to start building this energy and this community and stuff. But also, there's going to be a lot of people who are going to be opting out because it's going to be so hard. Like, it's going to be hard to heal this stuff. Like, this is big stuff that's going to be coming up to the surface for these people. All the people who aren't seeing yet. There's going to be a lot of stuff. And all of us know people that are awake a little bit, but not fully awake. They know about this, they know about that, but they don't know about this, and this. So there's like a whole bunch of doors that are going to open all of a sudden. And it's going to be very overwhelming because people are going to all of a sudden, out of their arrogance where they thought they knew everything, it's all of a sudden going to be like, whoa, the windows are clean now. I see a lot of stuff I didn't see before. And they're going to feel like more small and stupid and ignorant, where they were so built up on their ego, patting themselves on the back with all their arrogance, thinking that they were the know-it-alls and everybody else was stupid. And so then it's like the windows are going to be cleaned and they're going to all of a sudden see so much stuff that they didn't see before. And it's going to be a lot to face. So, but it's in this way it's going to go, though, there's all these other people who have been focused on building themselves up. They're going to start taking off. And then these people, they're the ones that, because there's going to be some that give up, some that just, it's too hard, they can't face themselves, it's too much, and they've done too many things, and they're just going to hate themselves. They're just going to be kicking their own ass all fucking day long and just stuck in the cycle of like, I'm worthless, I'm worthless, I'm worthless. Because there's not going to be anybody to blame, where they've always had somebody to blame, to be the victim. There's not going to be anybody to blame. Every time you're going to try and blame somebody, there's going to be a mirror right in front of you. And so so it's going to drain some people. They're not going to be able to handle it. So there's going to be people who are going to be falling off. But then there's going to be other people who are going in the direction of healing and focusing on themselves, and then they're going to start going in those directions of the same as, like, I'm going to build myself up. So we're going to have that part of the society. That's the part that I know of, that's the part that rebuilds this whole new earth. They're the ones who create this new world. So that's the energy of the new creation. And so those are the people who are going towards that one. Like all these other ones, like I don't know, like when people are too consumed by hating themselves so much, then they're going to stay in that cycle. I mean, they'll go to their life review. Well, I don't know. Some they're sitting there saying they're just going to leave on spaceships and go to another world to finish playing out the stuff they're playing out. But your soul is making choices all the time, because your soul isn't, a vague thing. And so then but some of them, who are hating themselves, they'll go into lives that are going to help them to heal that, help them to let go of this hate side of themselves. So it's going to be good for them, even though it's like, well, it would have been great if they would have just come and went into the age of Aquarius, if everybody could go there. But it's like, not everybody's meant to go there. Everybody is meant right now to be provoked into bringing to the surface what it is that they're burdened with in their soul's journey. So life after life after life, what is built up, it's like the rust that's built up on your soul, and it's all meant to bring in the light, shine it so you can see it. But some people are going to feel just too beaten down, too rusty, and it's too overwhelming. And then other people are going to really champion themselves, and they're going to really build themselves up. And those ones that go in that direction, that's the direction of the new earth. That's the one of this new energy of where people feel good about themselves, and because everybody has skills and stuff, everybody has purpose, everybody has things about them that make them unique, but not everybody is ready to look at that side of themselves. And so, because even where people seem like that they like these ego arrogant thing, but that's not, they don't really truly love themselves. They're just, I mean, we wouldn't have so much division, we wouldn't have so much hate, we wouldn't have so much biases. And so it's but this world, that's the thing too, is this world that was here to create so much division benefits the soul when the soul knows how to use it, because then it brings it to the surface so you can see it for yourself, and then you can reject those sides of yourself. You can heal those sides of them yourself. You can bring balance into yourself so that you aren't consumed by the dark. But the people who, then when the lights come on, and the people who can't get through that, and they just feel too beaten down and too confused, then that's not a bad thing for them to go to a place to keep working on that part of themselves. So it's not a bad thing where people are going to be like, so like the age of Aquarius is the big winning one, like everybody won who goes there, that's the best thing. No, it's all the people who have done the work to create this new way of living. That's who goes there. The ones that aren't ready for it, they're going to be doing what's right for them, going and learning more and experiencing more things to get them to heal their past, to play out their karma, to grow and to become better versions of themselves. But I just feel like there's so many people who just feel like the age of Aquarius, that's the winning thing, and if you're not going there, you're a real loser. And that's not the way to look at it. It's not just like this place that's there. It's like we are creating it by doing the work. Us doing the work is what creates the new lifestyle. It's what creates the new way of life. So it's it is like a different lifestyle. And when you put the effort and energy into you and your lifestyle and taking care of yourself, then that creates a new world. And that world is going to be healthier. It's going to be better energy. It's going to be happier. But it's because you are putting your energy into that, so it plays out. And then there's going to be like a whole collective, a whole bunch of people who do it. And so it creates a whole new reality that is based on community, unity, the better parts of ourselves, and getting to experience like this more creative side of ourselves, this more artistic side of you. And that's like a big part of also accepting yourself for being a weirdo. You know, you don't need to conform and become a generic cutout of I don't know, these characters that are acceptable in this weird world, because where everybody was trying to fit into this character that others would see acceptable, and then cutting off the parts of them that made them unique. But the parts of you that make you unique is this creative side of yourself. So you want to build up that side of yourself. You want to, you know, acknowledge your own side of you that makes you unique or weird or strange, and to accept that side of yourself. Love that side of yourself. That's what's important. And that's like the ticket into the new world. It's like the creation of the new world is you learning how to love yourself. That's why I say it all the time. Because it's when you can put yourself as being a value, then you go into a world where everybody else values themselves. Not everybody's toxic. Not everybody's trying to get something from somebody else to make themselves feel good. It's going to be like everybody is a lot more, I was going to say contained, but it's more like you fill your own self up. You fill your own container up, and you don't need everybody else to come and fill you up. So it won't be like energetic vampires. It won't be vamps. There won't be all of this stuff sucking the life out of everybody. But it's created by the people who learn how to give back to themselves. So if you get what I'm saying, I've been saying it long enough. I've been rattling and rattling. But hopefully I'm making sense. Because it is like the stuff that Donald is doing and showing, it does bring them out of this like, oh, that's conspiracy. Now all of a sudden they're talking this way. All of a sudden they're seeing all this stuff, but it's got to be Donald who's showing it. That's why I say, like, how would it make sense for all of a sudden for him to be on? It would leave all these people just stuck. Yeah, these dark people, they would like it to play out that way. They'd like to get rid of him and keep us all stuck, but that's not what plays out. That's not how it ends for humanity. No, like I said, we're on the train, it's left the station, it's already in motion, it's already in movement, this is already going. And so this is how it all is playing out, though, is this, we're going into we're splitting off, like off the tracks. The different cars are going to go in different directions. And you have to follow your own guidance where you're going. You don't want to just be like, well, I want to go there, I want to go there. You got to go where you're supposed to be going, because, well, you can't get to where you can't be. It's impossible. It's like your vibration is what gets you to where you're going to be, and your vibration is based on your truth, your real. You can't hide from that. And so you can't hide from your true intentions. You can't pretend and trick anybody. That's your vibration is going to show the truth. And so you can't pretend to be something you're not to get into the age of Aquarius. You can't be your worst self and then jump into the age of Aquarius. Because the age of Aquarius exists, so you just jump in. It's like, no, there's more to it. There's you have to, your vibration is what gets you in, and so you have to work on your vibration. And so the people who aren't to that higher vibration, to get to that world where everything is peaceful, then they have to keep going through things to get them there. So it's, and if you are at that place where you're not ready for that vibration, you're not ready to, you're focused more on hate and division, and these people are stupid, it's all their fault, which is a huge thing in our society right now. I mean, this is really, it's all for us all to see. Like, there's a lot of observation coming over, like, who's going where. And so we're gonna see, we're gonna watch it play out. It's gonna play out. But just when certain ones go in other directions, that's the thing, is we don't want to be like, well, they were a real loser. That's going to pull your vibration right down. You may as well go with them. So it's seeing it on a higher minded level of seeing, like, everybody is going to go where it is that they need to go. Their vibration is going to pull them into where they're supposed to be. And so you don't fight against, learn your stuff as it's coming to you. There's a lot of stuff to be learning right now. And I'm telling you, the biggest things is learning how to love yourself. But before I even do them, let's just do this. Oh, yeah, and I got those, they're like just these little wipe things for your face. But they're supposedly, whatever. I don't know. It's, I don't remember. It was one thing, it's got something from snails in it. But it is not, it doesn't just say just takes away dark spots. It's brings your skin into balance, or so, I don't know. But supposedly it takes away dark spots, and I got a lot of dark spots, so we'll watch and see. What was weird too is, like, when I said that, there was a car that sounded like it was, and I was like, oh, it must be delivery, because I heard the door shut and stuff. And then I went out, and the delivery went there. I looked on Amazon, and it was at the end of the driveway. So I was like, well, did the guy get out of the car and the dogs were barking? And he was like, hell no, and got back in the car, drove to the bottom, and left it down at the end of the driveway. Because he came up here, but he didn't leave the package. So it was weird as shit. So anyways, but I got him, and I did the first day of them. So we'll see. There's people on the comments and stuff, or the reviews, like, oh, I could tell the first week. So we'll see. And I'm probably not going to take, I don't know, I may take a package of them with me. And because once you start doing something, it's like, well, I got to keep doing it. So, and it's going to be a couple weeks and I'm going to be, not here. So I maybe put some in a thing and take them with me. Probably that's what I got to do. I'm going to probably, because I packed my bags weeks ago. And now I'm like, it's a day and a half or something till I go. So I'm going to, well, I think it's 2.5 days. So, or 3, I don't know. Tuesday in the evening, I'm leaving here. And so I'm going to unpack my bags though and repack them and make sure I've got everything situated. And so, so I think I'll take some of those in a little container or whatever. And so anyways, I'm watching the skin, watching the hair thing, seeing what's happening with that. I'm telling you, my eyelashes are not growing, I'll tell you that. And so, I don't know. We'll see. Because what is this? Almost a week on the pumpkin seed oil pills. Maybe it is sticking out a little bit more. So, we'll see. I'm fucking shedding though like a motherfucker. Like, that's for fucking sure. It's just constantly hair's coming out. Sometimes it's like a fucking handful. I don't even like to comb my hair or brush it now because so much hair comes out. It's like, oh, but then the other day I did a curling iron on my hair, which doesn't hold curl for shit. But I did the curling iron, and there I was like, okay, there's still a lot of hair. Fuck, man, this takes a long time. So, anyways, and I got this weird curling iron too that you put it up and then it rolls in the hair, and then I got this hair going. It's like I gotta be a lot more structured on my curling iron shit. But then you do put all this work into it, and then within 20 minutes or half hour it's back to, it had like a little bend, but I swear to God it gets as, well, I don't know, it was braided all night. So I don't know, when your hair is heavy it doesn't hold curl so much. If I cut it, then it would hold curl. If I cut it very much, I could make it a lot curlier, but the more it gets longer, the more it gets heavy. So, and straight. But the, oh yeah, and the tooth. That's the other thing we're watching. Oh yeah, and this fucking thing. I know you can't see this, but this fucking botch eye situation that I've put in aloe vera, I should take some of that with me too. Because when I don't do it, it starts totally breaking out. Like this whole big thing becomes like this big lump. But anyways, I've been messing with that lately too. But the tooth, I'm gonna watch that and see how that's doing. And so the spots on the face, the tooth, the hair, all these things to see what works and what doesn't work. But even though I'm showing my own, you got to look at your own. Like, it could be that your hair's falling out, you go start taking zinc, and then all of a sudden it's like, fuck, my hair's coming back. Selenium, it can also change the, moringa has been known to change the color of the hair. The B12, that's another thing. Iron. So there's a whole bunch of things you can be deficient in. And the pumpkin seed oil is an overproduction of something that you are making it stop, because that's causing the hair to fall out. So that's the one I'm on now, because I tried all these other ones. And so now I'm on this one that supposedly blocks the DHT or something from knocking your hair out of your head. So anyways, but everybody's got to figure out their own. But we can watch and see on me what works, because I'm showing. But that doesn't necessarily mean because it works on me that's going to work on you. You got to go through the list just like I've been going through it and trying to figure out what works and what doesn't work. So, but I'm telling you, through all of this stuff, and when you really want to raise your vibration, you really want to, but see, it's like it's the motivation inside of you. But it's weird because there's a lot of these people who just seem lost right now, but some of them are going to heal. Some of them are going to work their way up into they're just meant to bring this really deep stuff up from the depths of their fucking soul and bring it to the surface so that they can see it, and they're going to look at themselves and see it in a very big, harsh way. But then there's going to be other ones that it's going to be overwhelming to them to see these sides of themselves, and they're going to not be able to get over it. And they're going to go to other places, other worlds, to go and continue the work. because that's what a soul does. I mean, what does a soul do? It's always in a sense of evolution, a sense of expansion. And how does it expand? How does it grow? Through experiencing itself, through understanding itself on a deeper level, through the movement, motivation of perception. And so it is the things, but see, you can't tell somebody who has got a lack of perception that everybody's in their own reality and it's all through perception and stuff, because they don't understand what the fuck you're talking about, because they're not there yet. So you can sit there and trying to save the world and tell everybody the truth, but they're not going to understand it unless they are ready to understand it. And then you can remind them. I'm telling you, it's way more about remembering than it is about saving people and telling people and stuff. See, she can tell. She knows. She's already gone over there. She's right over there where the cookies are. Oh, look. God dang, I'm stiff. My whole fucking body. Now she went out the thing. Or she opened it. But she's gonna go right back over there, the cookies. She knows I'm gonna go over there and make a cup of tea. And then I'll get a cookie out. It's just the whole day revolves around her eating and whining at me. It will be a nice vacation to not have her whining at me all day and night. But I miss her and I want to be with her all the time. I love that girl so much. I just wish I could fix it. I wish I could. And that's why I'm so hopeful of these fucking med beds, man. And whatever, I swear to God, this wasn't happening before. It's like I had seen about this, whatever, a year ago. I talked about it, these bumps in the tattoos. And I was like, and then I saw people talking about their tattoos were getting all these bumps, and other people were talking about it, and there was more and more, and it was, so it was like I don't know, as you heal and you're changing your vibration, the things that don't fit with you anymore start, and there's so much poison and shit in the ink. I didn't even know, like, fuck, I put all this ink in people, like anything. It's just frustrating. This whole thing is frustrating. But anyways, but the way that they keep doing that, now I'm like, it's like the ink or something. It's like my body is rejecting it or something. So it's weird. But I think in the med beds, like, that all goes. Like, it's so weird because it's like your vibration changes, and I don't know, it's weird. Everything is so weird. It's like, so, like, you think of life as such a solid thing. Like, we were all programmed to believe, like, we're flesh and blood, and this is a world, and we're a globe, and we're spinning out in space, and all this stuff. It's just so different. It's so weird. So, anyways, but that's why I really want to get to this part, to get through this money crash thing and get us to the med beds. I really want to get them, and I want to get Stella in a med bed and heal her hips and stuff, and it changes the thing too. All of the things you think of are your aging, are vibrational, so it switches you back. And so anyway, so she will no longer be a little old lady all sore and whiny. She'll be a young lady again. Here she comes. God, I love her. She's so cute. If you could see how she walks and stuff. And she's always got her tail wagging. Doesn't matter how bitchy she is, her tail's always wagging. She's such a little sweetheart. And she's just so big and like or I don't know. She's just cute as shit. So anyways, but everything has to do with vibration. Everything has to do with how you see yourself, and the changes all come from within. And so the best place to start, I'm telling you, is learning how to love yourself. That's the thing. We're going to see it. We're going to see all this just play out, but learning how to love yourself, learning how to love everybody else, because this is the stuff I know, because this is where I'm going. This is the place where I'm headed to. And so in this place where I'm going to, these are the ways to get in. And so you can't get in being hateful and biased and judgmental and thinking everybody's a piece of shit if they don't agree with you. I mean, you got people who think people should be dead if they don't agree with them. It's like, well, I don't know what world you're creating. It's not one I'm going to be at. Now I'm going to one where it's just, I don't know, it just is so artistic. It's so happy. It's so creative. It's so ever expansive. But in order to get there, you got to bring the game. You got to be a part of it. You got to be in that vibration. You got to be in that energy. So you got to learn to love yourself. You got to learn to love everybody else. You got to learn to have the day you want to have. You can't just sit and be bitter and pissed off all the time because this place is nonsense. You got to just be like, yeah, it's nonsense. Got to let it go. Got to just laugh it off. So anyways, that's how I see it. And we'll talk about it again tomorrow. So I'll talk to you later. Bye.